The Pixar's Cars franchise has plenty of characters within it, and I mean a fucking ton of characters. So much to the point where, at some point, obviously, some characters are bound to be forgotten to time and slip through the cracks. And today, I'm going to be talking about some of the most forgotten and underused characters in this my favorite franchise, of course. So, not wasting any more time here, let's get straight into it. I don't know, it's another different type of video I'm going to be talking about this franchise. And yeah, many more planned on the way, so yeah. So let's get into this. First, let's start things off with the most recent example, that being Rod Torque Redline. This guy made his first appearance in Cars 2, where he was the original American spy made to take down the Lemons from sabotaging the World Grand Prix. But of course, we all know how that story ends. He was eventually killed by the Lemons and was replaced by Mater, as his status is currently deceased as he is still dead. But still, this guy is pretty interesting as he's actually a fusion of both cars in real life, that being the Ford Mustang and the Dodge Challenger, of course, as you could see by his very boxy and at the same time curvy design, of course. I don't really mean that in another way. But I still really like this character and I would want to see more of him, but unfortunately he's dead, so there's no way that's possible. There's no way he can be revived because there's no such technology like that in the Cars universe, so that's a shame. But despite the fact that this character was killed off relatively quickly, he still got some pretty good merchandise of him, that being the talking version and the standard diecast edition. But though, his character has been pretty widely forgotten, not in the fandom per se, but in the Cars universe in general, since no one talks about him anymore. I guess he was just a forgotten relic of time that everyone just forgot. Or maybe he was just secretly sent to the Shadow Realm, I don't know. Now we have a video game appearance this time instead of a movie, and it's of Candace. Candace made her first appearance in Cars Race-O-Rama, the video game. She was essentially just a boss character and just your stereotypical rich girl, look at daddy, look at me, me type. So yeah, I'm not really such a huge fan of her character all that much since she never really got to do much with her other than being a part of Chix's crew and being an antagonist and all. But I do like her design, and I would say she looks kind of similar to Cruz Ramirez, at least in her body type, I would say. But I mean, it's really about it, and I don't really have much to say about her. She doesn't appear ever again after this game, so yeah. Now this is a classic character who made his very first appearance in the first Cars movie, Frank. Frank, basically the Combine. He's essentially one of the most powerful characters here. Not really because of really strength, to be honest. He doesn't really have much feats here, but to really be honest here, Frank is just absolutely terrifying. Imagine what he could have done to Lightning if he had actually just gone a little bit closer. He probably could have ripped off his entire bumper or his rear spoiler. That's how scary he truly is. But yeah, Frank is a very popular character in the community, but not really used much in the franchise nowadays. He did make an appearance in Cars 2, the video game, where he was essentially just a prop, and Mater did talk about him to the other racers, but really that's about it. I'd really love to see him again as a joke character, to be honest. He also had plenty of merchandise on it back in the day, so that was pretty awesome. Nice throwback. Now we have Bubba. Bubba actually didn't make his first appearance in a film or video game. He actually made his first appearance in a book called the Storyteller series. It was a short series about the Cars characters' origins, mainly Lightning and Mater, how Lightning became a racer, and just Mater's origin in general. Mater used to have this bully called Bubba, and he was an enemy of him as he would frequently bully him, and even one time stole his hood. But eventually, in the end though, they ended up racing against each other. I guess Mater won, of course, but he ended up losing his hood in the process as it was stolen from him by Bubba. Bubba didn't only make his appearance in the book though, he also made an appearance in Cars Race-O-Rama, and he even had a diecast of him for a short period of time. But just like with the other characters, he never appeared again. I guess Mater and Bubba did make amends apparently, that would be pretty wholesome considering that all the garbage stuff that Bubba has been doing to Mater for all of his life. Now we have a very obscure character called Laverine, as she did make her first appearance in a book where she was a Motorama girl along with Flo, This was basically Flo's origin before she met Ramon, of course, and entered Radiator Springs. But there's really isn't much about her. All I really know is that she was just a Motorama girl and some performer, and that's basically it. I will say her design's pretty awesome, but still, that's all. I mean, she is a forgotten character, and she's basically not used at all, so that's it. Now we have TJ Hummer from the first Cars movie, but only at the end credits scene where he is being trained by Sarge. Now, despite the fact that he might just seem like some nothing joke character, he actually has a lot more history than what you might think, because according to the Cars wiki, he actually comes from a long line of military vehicles, but growing up, he was always in the gated communities and private schools. He was also idea of off-roading was growing more pathless and Woodland Avenue. He was also an inspiring rapper since he really wanted to do that, and he also tried to look tough, of course, as you can see by his design, obviously. But without scratching his paint or his dirty rims, I don't really know about that. Yeah, it's not really very tough, isn't it? But still, despite being heavily forgotten and basically never really being used at all in this franchise, I would still say TJ's is very interesting, and I do like him somewhat. So we have reached the end of this video, basically. So all these characters may have been forgotten by the franchise itself, but it doesn't mean throughout the rest of the fans that they're forgotten, of course. They are still within the core of the Cars universe. So I just want to talk about these guys since I feel like they've been getting slept on for a while, but I'm bringing them back onto the surface, at least for a final time, I suppose. So yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out my Instagram, link is in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a good day, and goodbye. See you later.